any team, including the Black Stars, will have troubles facing an attack with the likes of Sneijder and Van Persie and Van der Vaart and Robben or Kout in it. It's in the final 23-man squad, you'll notice we've left out Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy, a legendary striker, we've left him out because we have quality players. There's not enough competition in the back four line.
It'll be interesting to see whether or not the Koreans can actually keep this tempo up in the second half. I actually thought the Greeks would come out a little stronger than they did. But the Koreans, on the other hand, seem full of confidence.
You'll see 4 Greek defenders who are standing in a row covering that zone. But the problem with that is that the scorer of the goal, he just came running in, and just as the last man was about to clear the ball, he jumps in front and puts it in the back of the net. It's very fast, technical players. If he's one-on-one with the Korean striker, he's in very, very big trouble. So that's probably the reason he didn't start in the first place. So they need to communicate better, of course. So I hope the coach will do something about that. But a lot of it's going to depend on the fitness of the Koreans. It's like I said, they looked a little bit more tired at the end of the first half. So if they actually can't
begin, happy to meet Mr. Solomon Tosin, along with Ian de Vries. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That Nigeria definitely, based on how many chances they created themselves, deserved to get at least a goal. Like you said, the Nigerian goalkeeper was excellent. And it could easily, if it wasn't for him, it could easily have been 2 or 3. Heinze is on the edge of the box with his marker, and the marker stands there while Heinze starts running, and the marker just stands there and watches the ball. I mean, you cannot do that. It's poor. It's very, very poor. Look, the defender just stays and waits. Heinze comes in, free header, clear goal.
That's true.
Obviously, I mean, the clash with South Korea is going to be key. The South Koreans made a very good impression on me today, I think, especially with their first half performance. The United States of America is hugely underrated. I mean, they're a very strong squad, whereas most people still think in the shoes. Same thing. I mean, the depth of the squad, you know, is debatable. Who's going to fill the shoes of Wayne Rooney if he gets injured?
I think both teams are very much going to rely on their own strength rather than adapt to the play of the opponent.
This tournament, he made some very impressive saves against Mexico. I think even largely due to him, they won that game. Leaving out Theo Walcott out of the squad was a very controversial decision. I would have taken him with me. I think personally that he can bring more to the game than who's got a lot of goals in him. But Altidore will be the man to watch. I think Terry is going to have a hard day marking him. Usually the referee just comes up to him and gives him a talking to and says one more thing and you go on a yellow, but he's off on a red. That's appalling.
6 yellow cards, 1 red
If you're a
card.
man down against the Serbs now, especially because the Serbians are full of confidence and they're dominating the play, it's going to be a tough second half for Germany. Right now, actually, the game reminds me a lot of the Holland against Portugal game 4 years ago with 18 yellow cards and 4 red cards. I hope the referee is not going to produce a similar game like that, because that was just horrendous.
Any team playing Brazil can generally be seen as the underdog, since everyone knows Brazil is the #1 football nation on the planet so far. So it's an easy statement to make. So I have a little bit more confidence that if it does go to penalties this time, we're not going to go out shockingly like in '98.
Well, guess what? The last time a team...
Brazil actually plays very similar to the Dutch game, with 2 holding midfielders that always stay back, or at least most of the time stay back, which allows the 2 wing backs, the right and left back, to go up the flanks. As soon as they were anywhere near to the goal, there was just a wall of Brazil in front of him, and they could not find an opportunity to shoot. He also told his co-players and the coach that Julio Cesar, although he's a fantastic goalkeeper, is a little bit weak when the crosses come in from the side. So when he put in the cross, he knew, he said in the interview, he knew he had to put it as close as possible to the goalkeeper. And you saw what happened. He flew under it, and Felipe Melo got the last touch in it, so it was an own goal. To come back from a 1-goal deficit like that, it's just...
It's good to see you rediscover
Dunga said that it's been criticized so many times. Despite his team winning, nobody actually liked the way they were playing over in Brazil. So, and his argument was, what do you care as long as we win? But now he's not even winning, so I'm pretty sure Dunga is in a lot of trouble.
I wouldn't want to bet against the...
We scored the first goal, okay, now the ball is rolling, we're going to demolish them, we're going to roll them up, this is our game. But then they got an equalizer and they were, hey, what just happened? They had no idea how to respond to that. And then suddenly the whole game was different.
Now I'm joined by Ian de Vries.
And you can't argue with it anymore. He brought the team to the final, and it doesn't matter what kind of football you play, if you're in the final, you're doing something right. You cannot really criticize a defense that much if you only concede 2 goals in qualifier. If you only, in the first 4 matches, concede 2 goals in a World Cup, and both of them have come from penalties. I think the back line has been criticized a lot, but you have to give them some credit. Marek has said to them is, listen, if you don't have the talented defenders like John Terry, like Rio Ferdinand, then you have to do it with organization. And I say choked. It's that simple. Everyone was on about the South Americans and how well they did, and they did very well. I mean, to have 5 teams progress to the next stage and 4 into the quarterfinals. That's obviously fantastic. They go in there and they hype themselves up and they know, we have to play, we have to play. I gotta force that transfer to Manchester United or force a transfer to AC Milan or whatever. And they go there and they put in a fantastic performance because they've hyped themselves up every game, the adrenaline. But playing in a season, especially in the Premier League, where you play so many games each season, it's hard to get that same kind of adrenaline and that same kind of excitement for every game that you play. You only get to spend limited amount of time with your boys and you have to achieve much more. And it's hard because you don't train every day and you don't play matches every week. So it's a very different discipline. Perhaps in another national team you won't be so successful. So he'll be looking at that and he'll be thinking, well, I'm doing very well here. If they increase my pay and I get rewarded handsomely for what I'm doing, then it might be a very good thing for me to stay here because I'm doing well. I'm on a roll here. Yeah. But if it was a penalty, it was a last man, so it couldn't have been a yellow card. It should have been a straight red. So that's what I'm saying. The referee was not playing.
We've seen one escape.
The referees have been so happy to dish out the yellow and red cards, but then when they really need to, they forget the rules. That's a weird thing.
Okay, so enough of that. Let's see.